Hello and welcome to Moobies Bread Shop, where we talk about all things WoW Classic, and of course, bread. Enjoy your stay! The 15th and final video of our Naxxramas series concludes with the legendary sorcerer Kel'Thuzad. He sits on the throne and we're about to take him down. Let's get into it. Kel'Thuzad has 6 dangerous abilities, but will also spawn 4 different types of adds. First, we'll go over KT's abilities. The first ability is Frostbolt. This inflicts about 30,000 frost damage and reduces movement speed for 4 seconds. It must be interrupted, and he can chain cast it. The second ability is Frostbolt Volley. You may also see this called Frostbolt Multiple in your raid frames. It is an instant cast that inflicts 7,000 to 8,000 raid damage to everyone in the raid and reduces their movement speed for 4 seconds. Third ability is Chains of Kel'Thuzad. He selects 3 random raid members and mind controls them. Their size is increased by 200%, damage increased by 200%, and healing increased by 500%. They will buff and heal Kel'Thuzad. Crowd control them immediately. When the mind control breaks, you will drop all of your threat. Fourth, Mana Detonation. This is a debuff applied to a random mana using raid member. The player explodes after 5 seconds, dealing arcane damage based on maximum mana to all players within 10 yards, but doesn't do damage to themselves. Shadow Fissure. This summons a very noticeable red fissure around the targeted player, which will kill you after 5 seconds if you don't move. Don't get hit by these. And finally, Frost Blast. This places an ice block on a random raid member and all raid members within 10 yards of the initial target. This can chain, so stay spread out. It will deal 104% of maximum HP over 4 seconds, and this ability can target the main tank. During Phase 1, all you'll fight are adds. 8 waves of them to be exact. Each wave will consist of many Soldier of the Frozen Wastes, which will move slow and cast Dark Blast when it reaches a raid member. 1 Soul Reaver, which also moves slow and casts Wail of Souls, which deals 7 to 8k shadow damage, knocks back and hits 3 players. If this is kited, it will not cast this ability. And also 1 Unstoppable Abomination. This applies Mortal Wound to its primary aggro target and must be tanked. The final add is spawned by the boss when he reaches 45%, Guardian of Ice Crown. These need to be picked up and tanked away from the raid. They will do increasing damage via blood tap as the fight goes on, so ensure you're doing big damage. Strategy time. At the start of the fight, everyone will move to the center of the room. Any stragglers can wipe the raid as all areas around the room fill up with adds. Not all the adds will come through the waves, but you can overwhelm if you pull additional unnecessarily, so watch where you're standing. Ranged DPS will focus down the Soul Weaver and dedicate one particular individual, usually a hunter, to AoE down the skeletons. Melee should focus on the Abomination with the tank. This phase lasts the exact amount of time as the song Eye of the Tiger. Give it a shot. Let me know your feedback. Once KT activates, you'll want to bring him to the center of the room and have your raid spread out around the outer circle 10 yards. Melee also needs to spread out the best they can, or at least have 2 groups for easy healing if one gets hit with a Frost Blast. Ensure you set up an interrupt rotation for Frostbolt, as he cannot get a single cast off. As long as the raid is spread out 10 yards, you won't have to worry about the Mana Detonation or Frost Blast. However, the Shadow Fissures and Chains will likely mess with your positioning. The room is very large, so move back and find a new spot if you need to. How to handle Chains of Kel'Thuzad. This is an ability that will mind control 3 random raid members and increases their damage and healing. Those mind controlled can heal KT. Have your raid ready to throw a quick crowd control. Polymorphs, Warlock Fears, Psychic Screams, Intimidating Shouts, Change of Ice, Wyvern Sting. You could even shackle Undead if you're Horde. There is no way to have a concrete plan for each combination of raid members, so this requires your raid to have good awareness and accountability. Communicate frequently and call out which abilities are being used to ensure clean sets of mind controls. At 45%, KT will spawn 2 Guardians of Icecrown. They will spawn from behind his throne, so the tank needs to be ready to grab these. Healers, be ready for this extra damage. It gets exponential the longer the fight goes on. This is where you pop everything, including Bloodlust, and look to get him down before you're overwhelmed by damage. He will keep the same abilities, so keep doing everything the same as you have been up to this point. Reduce his HP to 0, and you've mastered the Scourge Necropolis Naxxramas. Enjoy your achievements and loot. I hope you've enjoyed this video series. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by the bread shop. See you next time.